I welcome you all to this mathematics class. I'm Ms. Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. We are doing section 1 mathematics in that second unit, permutation, combination and linear programming problem. We have started with permutation and combination. We completed the topic of permutation and we started with combination in the last lecture. Today I'm going to solve some more problems on combination. So let us revise quickly. What is a combination? If n things are given and we have to select r things out of them and the order of selection is not important, then such a selection is called as a combination of n objects taken r at a time. The number of combinations of n objects taken r at a time is given by the formula given by NCR, and the formula to calculate that is n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. The difference between permutation and combination is, in permutation we select and then arrange the things in order. So order is important. In combination, we only select and form a group or committee. So order is not important. Then this also we have seen in the last class. NC0 means out of n object, if you are selecting 0 object, NC0 will come out to be 1. Similarly, NCN, if you are having n objects and you are selecting all of them and forming a committee, only one committee will be possible. So NCN is also 1. NC1, if you are having n objects and you have to select only one, then that can be done in n different ways. You can also prove this by using the formula. For example, if you are having, say, 4 objects, I'll do it on this slide. Suppose you are having 4 objects and you have to select all 4 of them and form a committee. Suppose there are 4 objects A, B, C, D, and you have to select all of them and form a committee. Then the only possibility is that you take all of them. So only one way. So 4C4 is 1. Similarly, 3C3 will also be 1 because there will be only one group which will contain all of them. Okay. Similarly, if out of 4, if you are selecting only one, then it can be done in 4 different ways. Either you select A or B or C or D. So 4 ways. So 4C1 is equal to 4. This is true for any number. 5C1 will be 5. Okay. Now let us solve some problems. Look at the first problem. A group of 10 people contains 4 males and 6 females. A committee of 5 is to be formed. Find the number of ways such that the committee has all females. This is the first question. And the second question is, find the number of ways such that the committee has 3 males and 2 females. So in this question, what is given to you? There are 10 people. Out of these 10 people, how many males? 4 males and 6 females. Let us solve the first one. You have to form a committee of 5. Means out of these 10 people, you have to select 5 people. Okay. Now, what is the condition? What is the first one? Find the number of ways such that the committee has all females. Means all these 5 people which we are selecting to form a committee, they should be all female. Okay. So how many females are there in this group of 10 people? There are 6 females. So all these 5 members of the committee will be selected from these 6 females. Okay. Which can be done in 6C 5 different ways. Out of 6 females, 5 females can be selected in 6C 5 different ways. That is what I have written in the solution of the first problem. There are 6 females, okay? Number of ways in which all 5 females are selected is given by 6C 5. All the 5 members of the committee has to be female. So we will not select from the 4 males. All the 5 members will be selected from 6 females, and that can be done in 6C 5 different ways. So the answer for the first one will be 6C 5. Let us calculate the value of 6C 5. Look at here. 6C 5 we have to calculate. C5. What is the first of all, let us write down the formula for NCR. What is the formula for NCR? It is n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So we have to calculate 6C5. So n is equal to 6 and r is equal to 5. So let us calculate 6C5. So that will be equal to 6C5 equal to 6 factorial divided by r मतलब 5 factorial into 6 minus 5. 6 minus 5 factorial, which will give you 6 factorial divided by 5 factorial. 6 minus 5 is 1. So it is 1 factorial. Okay, I'll do it here. That is equal to 6 factorial. 6 factorial, how can you write? 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. And what is 5 factorial? It is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 1 factorial is 1. Okay. So this will get cancelled with this, and so you will get 6. So I have solved here also 6C5, that is 6 factorial upon 5 factorial into 6 minus 5, that is 1 factorial. 6 factorial, I can write 6 into, see here how I have written. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, I can write as 5 factorial. And in the denominator also there is 5 factorial. So this and this will get cancelled and you are left with 6. So number of ways such that the committee has all females is 6. So 6 different committees you can form with all the members, all the 5 members as female. Okay. Let us see the next problem. Find the number of ways such that the committee has 3 males and 2 females. Look at the second one. There are total 10 people. Out of that, 4 are male and 6 are female. In the second question, you have to find out how many committees you can form which has 3 males. Out of these 5, 3 should be male and 2 should be females. How will you do this? Okay. So there are how many males? 4 males. And we have to select how many? 3. Out of 4 males, 3 males can be selected in 4C 3 different ways. Similarly, there are 6 females and we have to select how many females? 2 females. So that can be done in 6C 2 different ways. Okay. So total number of ways to select 3 male and 2 females will be the product of them. 4C3 into 6C2. Let us see how I have written this here. What is the second question? Find the number of ways such that the committee has 3 males and 2 females. Now there are 4 males, correct? And we have to select 3 males. 3 males can be selected out of 4 males in 4C3 different ways. Okay. Similarly, there are 6 females and we have to select 2 females. So 2 females can be selected out of 6 females in 6C 2 different ways. So the number of ways to select 3 males and 2 females, number of ways to select 3 males and 2 females will be given by 4C3 into 6C2. Here what we are applying? The fundamental principle of counting. Recall, what is that principle? If one thing can be done in m different ways, another thing can be done in n different ways, then together both the things can be done in m into n different ways. If you remember, I had given you that Example, a person wants to travel from a city A to city C, and he has to break his journey at the place B. If you remember, this is a very good example to remember this principle of counting. If A to B, to go from A to B, there are 3 ways. And to go from B to C, there are 2 ways. So to go from A to C, he can have 3 into 2, that is 6 ways. So as I told you, this principle of counting, we are going to apply in most of the problems here, in permutation, combination, probabilities and all, okay? So 4 males are selected in 4C, 3 different ways. 2 females are selected in 6C, 2 different ways. Therefore, number of ways to select 3 males and 2 females will be the product of these two. Multiplication. 4C3 into 6C2. Now what you have to do? Calculate the value of 4C3 and 6C2 and multiply them. So let us calculate the value of 4C3. What is 4C3? I have already done it, but again I am doing it in front of you. 4C3 is what? 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 factorial. Okay. So it is 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 4 minus 3 is 1 into 1 factorial. Okay. That is what I have written here. 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 1 factorial. Now what is 4 factorial? Numerator, it is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. And what is 3 factorial? It is also 3 into 2 into 1. And 1 factorial is 1. Now simplify this. 3 into 2 into 1 will get cancelled with this. And you will get 4 upon 1, that is 4. So we got this 4. Okay. So we got the value of 4C3. Now let us calculate 6C2. So 6C2 in a similar way, it will be 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 6 minus 2, that is 4 factorial. Now 6 factorial I can write as 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That I can write as 4 factorial. Let us see here. So 6C2. 6C2 will be 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 6 minus 2, that is 4 factorial. 4 factorial. Okay. So that is 6 factorial I can write as 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That can be written as 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial is 2 into 1 and then into 4 factorial. You see 4 factorial and 4 factorial will get cancelled. So 6 into 5, that is 30 divided by 2. So I'll get 15. Okay. So I got the value of 4C3 and I also got the value of 6C2. Look at here. The number of ways to select 3 males and 2 females is given by 4C3 into 6C2. What is the value of 4C3? 4. And 6C2? 15. So 4 into 15. So the answer will be 60. So therefore, the number of ways such that the committee has 3 males and 2 females will be given by 60. That means you can form 60 different committees which contains 3 males and 2 females. Okay. Let us go to the next problem. There are 10 questions in a question paper. In how many different ways can a student attempt 7 questions from the paper if he does not know the answer of the first question? See, what is the question here? There are 10 questions in the question paper. Okay. And student have to answer any 7. Yesterday we have solved this problem, but there there was no condition that he does not know the answer of the first question. So the answer was straight away 10C7. If out of 10, you have to select any 7 question, that can be done in 10C7 different ways. But here, he does not know the answer of the first question. That means he cannot, while selecting the questions, he has to select from the question number 2 to 9. See here, there are 10 questions in the question paper. So you can see question number 1. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. He has to attempt any 7. Okay. If there is no condition, then out of 10, he can select 7, and that can be done in 10C7 different ways. That problem we have seen yesterday. In this problem, there is a condition that he does not know the answer of the first question. So he does not know the answer of the first question. This question, he does not know the answer. So he will select his 7 questions from the remaining 9 questions from 2 to 10. Okay. So the answer will be 9C7. Okay. So let us see how I have written this here. If a student does not know the answer of the first question, then he will choose 7 questions from the remaining 9 questions. From 2 to 10, they are 9 in number. Okay. And in how many ways that can be done? It can be done in 9C7 different ways. Okay. So here N is 9 and R is 7. So you calculate 9C7 in a similar way. How do you calculate 9C7? Apply your formula. I've written here the formula. So 9C7 is equal to 9 factorial divided by 7 factorial into 9 minus 7, that is 2 factorial. So let us calculate that. 9C7, okay, that is equal to 9 factorial divided by 7 factorial into 9 minus 7, that is 2 factorial. Now 9 factorial is what? It is 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into up to 1. I need not write that. In place of that, I can only write 7 factorial. And in the denominator, there is 7 factorial. 2 factorial, you know, it is 2 into 1. This 7 factorial and this 7 factorial will get cancelled. Okay. So 8 into 9 divided by 2. So 2 1 jar 2, 2 4 jar 8. So 9 into 7. 9 into 4, sorry, 9 into 4. So that will give you 36. Okay. So number of ways in which he can attempt 7 questions out of 9 questions is how much? So number of ways in which a student can attempt 7 questions out of 10 questions if he does not know the answer for the first question is 36. So he can attempt the questions in 36 different ways. Okay. Let us go to the next problem. From 4 professors and 6 students, a committee of 4 is to be formed. In how many ways the committee can be formed such that it contains only 1 professor? This question has appeared in question paper also. See, this question looks very much similar to the question number 1 which we have solved here. A group contains 10 people, 4 male and 6 female, and a committee of 5 is to be formed which should contain 3 male and 2 female, और इसमें all female. So ये जो question है, it is somewhat similar to that. Instead of in the first question 4 male and female, in this question there are 4 professors and 6 students. There are total 10 people. 4 are professors and 6 are students. you have to form a committee of 4. मतलब आपको इनमें से 4 लोगों को select करना है, ठीक है, and form a committee. In how many ways the committee can be formed such that it contains only one professor? Look at here. Committee कितने लोगों की बनानी है? 4 लोगों की. Okay, committee of 4. लेकिन what is the condition? It should contain only one professor, not more than one, only one. So out of these 4, one is professor, only one is a professor, and the remaining 3 should be what? The remaining 3 should be selected from student. The remaining 3 should be student. So this is how you will think. Okay, so in this problem, permutation combination problems, you have to think in the right direction. Okay, it is not much of the mathematics, it's only the logical thinking. So out of 4 professors, the committee should contain only one professor. So that can be selected in how many ways? 4C1 different ways. Okay, and 3 students it should select. And how many students are there? There are 6 students, and you have to select 3. It can be done in how many ways? 6C3 different ways. So total number of ways to select one professor and 3 students will be 4C1 into 6C3. Look at here. And then you calculate 4C1, calculate 6C3, put the value, multiply, you will get the answer. So let us see how I have written here. The committee contains only one professor. This is what is the condition. In how many ways the committee can be formed? Committee has to contain total 4 people. Out of that, only one should be professor. So the committee contains only one professor. And there are how many professors? 4. So one professor can be selected out of 4 professors in 4C1 different ways. 4 professor में से एक को select करना है. It can be done in 4C1 different ways. Now see, एक प्रोफेसर हो गया, टोटल कमिटी में 4 लोग हैं, उसमें से एक प्रोफेसर, तो बाकी के 3 कौन? बाकी के 3 स्टूडेंट. Okay, and there are 6 students. The remaining 3 members of the committee has to be student. Okay, so the 3 students can be selected out of 6 students in 6C3 different ways. So number of ways to select one professor and 3 students is given by 4C1 into 6C3. Now calculate the value of 4C1, which I have done here. 4C1, it is 4 factorial divided by 1 factorial into 4 minus 1, that is 3 factorial. 4 factorial is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which I can write as 3 factorial. See here, if you want, I can do it in front of you. 4C1, it is 4 factorial divided by 1 factorial into 4 minus 1, that is 3 factorial. Now 4 factorial, if you want, we can write it as, if you want, you can write up to 1 also, because it is not many numbers. 1 factorial is just 1, and 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1. Now 3 into 2 into 1, this will get cancelled, so you are left with 4. So you get here 4. Okay. So the value of 4C1 comes out to be 4. Let us calculate 6C3. I'm doing it here. 6C3, that is equal to 6 factorial upon 3 factorial into 6 minus 3, that is 3 factorial, which is equal to 6 factorial is what? It is 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that I can write as 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial, and 3 factorial I can expand, I can write the value 3 into 2 into 1. Now this and this will get cancelled. 3 into 2 is 6. This 6 will get cancelled with this. So I will left with 20. 5 into 4, that is 20. Okay. So I have calculated 4C1. I have calculated 6C3. Put the value. So see here. I have put the value of 4C1 and 6C3. 4C1 is 4 and 6C3 is 20. When you multiply, you will get 80. So there will be 80 different committees you can form, which contains only one professor. Okay. Let us see the next problem now. The staff of a department consists of a manager, means there is one manager, okay, an officer, means one officer, and 10 clerks. So there is a department which has a manager, एक officer है और 10 clerk है, ठीक है. A committee of 4 is to be selected. इन डिपार्टमेंट के मेंबर्स में से एक 4 लोगों को हमें सेलेक्ट करना है और एक कमिटी बनाना है. A committee of 4 is to be selected from this department. Find the number of ways in which the committee can be formed so as to include, first one is so as to include the manager. Second one, the manager but not the officer. Third one, neither the manager nor the officer. How are you going to solve this problem? So first of all, try to understand the problem. What is given to you here? You are given that there are 10 members in the department. Total there are 10 members. Out of these 10, there is only one manager. Okay. And one is officer. And 10 are clerks. Okay, so how many members are there? Not 10. There are 12. There are 12 members. In this department has 12 members. The staff of a department consists of a manager, means one manager, an officer, means one is officer, and 10 are clerks. So there are total 12 people in the department. Okay. A committee of 4 is to be selected. Means you have to select 4 people from this department and form a committee. How should be the committee? Find the number of ways in which the committee can be formed so as to include the manager. The first one is the manager. So let us solve the first one. So we have first one. So as the committee of 4 we have to form so that it includes a manager. How many managers are there? There is only one manager. Okay. So one manager, out of one manager can be selected in 1C1 different ways. That will be only one way, correct? So the manager can be selected in only one way because there is only one manager. Okay. And now the remaining 3 members of the committee, out of 4, one is manager. Okay. The remaining 3 members of the committee will be selected from the remaining members. So 10 are clerk and 1 is officer. So 11 members. So the manager can be selected in only one way and the remaining 3 members of the committee can be selected from 11 members of the department. 11 में कौन-कौन से हो गए? एक officer और 10 clerk. So remaining 3 members can be selected from these 11 members, which can be done in 11C 3 different ways. Okay, I hope you are understanding. You have to form the committee of 4 people. ये डिपार्टमेंट में एक मैनेजर है, एक ऑफिसर है और 10 क्लर्क है. तो टोटल 12 लोग हैं. हमको इन 12 में से 4 लोगों को सेलेक्ट करना है और एक कमिटी बनाना है. ठीक है. Now what is my first question says? The committee should include the manager. Compulsorily manager उस 4 में एक होना ही चाहिए. तो there is only one manager. So एक मैनेजर है, उसको हमने कमिटी में डाल दिया. Okay, it can be done in only one way because there is only one manager. Now remaining 3 members, 4 में से एक मैनेजर हो गया, तो तीन जो बाकी के तीन हैं, दे कैन बी आइदर ऑफिसर और क्लर्क, दे कैन बी एनीथिंग, उनके लिए कोई कंडीशन नहीं दिया है यहाँ पर. तो रिमेनिंग 3 members कैन बी सेलेक्टेड from the officer and 10 clerk. So 11, 1 plus 10, that is 11. So that is how I have written here. From the remaining 1 officers plus 10 clerk, that is 11 members in 11C, 3 different ways. Therefore, number of ways in which the committee can be selected so as to include the manager will be 1 into 11C3. क्योंकि manager 1 तरीके से हम select कर सकते हैं and remaining 3 members 11C3. So by applying the principle of counting 1 into 11C3, but which will give me 11C3 क्योंकि 1 को आप किसी से भी multiply करेंगे तो do you get the same back. Now calculate the value of 11C3. So I have calculated here. 11C3 is equal to 11 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 11 minus 3, that is 8 factorial. Remember the formula. What is the formula to calculate NCR? It is n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay. So n factorial. Okay. So in this problem, n is equal to 11 and r is equal to 3. Correct? No? 11C3 you are calculating. So n is 11 and r is 3. So look at the formula, n factorial. So 11 factorial divided by r factorial. R is 3. So 3 factorial into n minus r. N minus r is 11 minus 3. That is 8 factorial. Now 11 factorial we can write as 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into up to 1. 8 into 7. That into 6 up to 1. That is nothing but 8 factorial. I don't have to write here, because I can see the denominator. In the denominator there is 8 factorial. So I can stop here and write it as 11 factorial as 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 factorial. Look at what is in the denominator. 3 factorial, that is 3 into 2 into 1. And 8 factorial I write as it is. Now this 8 factorial and this 8 factorial will get cancelled. This and this will get cancelled. Okay, and 3 1 ja 3, 3 3 ja 9, 2 1 ja 2, 2 5 ja 10. So answer will be 5 into 3 into 11. That will give you 165. Okay, so that is how I have written, or if you want, you can do it by calculator also. So you'll get 165. Therefore, number of ways in which the committee can be selected so as to include the manager will be 165. So you can form 165 different committees containing 4 people from the department where manager has to be there. Okay. Let us see the next question. What is the next question? You have to form the committee in such a way, so as to include the manager, but not the officer. Manager should be there, but officer should not be there. Okay. Look at how. So if the manager is there, there is only one manager and we can select it in one way. The manager can be selected in only one way because there is only one manager. But the remaining 3 members of the committee should not be officer. Officer nahi chahiye. So remaining 3 members should be selected from 10 clerk. And that can be done in 10C, 3 different ways. See here. The manager can be selected in only one way, since the officer is not to be included in the committee. So the remaining 3 members can be selected from 10 clerks. हमको ऑफिसर को इंक्लूड नहीं करना है, तो बाकी के 3 मेंबर्स को हमें क्लर्क में से ही सेलेक्ट करना है, और क्लर्क कितने हैं? 10 है. तो इट कैन बी डन इन 10C, 3 different ways. Therefore, number of ways in which the committee can be selected so as to include the manager but not the officer is 1 into 10C3. That is 10C3. Now we have calculated the value of 10C3. That is 10 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 10 minus 3, that is 7 factorial. Now you can write down 10 factorial as 10 into 9 into 8. By mistake, 2 multiplication sign has come. Just neglect 1. Okay. So it is 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 up to 1. I can write as 7 factorial. Why? Because in the denominator there is 7 factorial. So I also have to keep on checking the denominator. Okay. What is 3 factorial? It is 3 into 2 into 1. And this 7 factorial I have written as it is. Now see, 7 factorial and 7 factorial will get cancelled because it is there in numerator as well as in the denominator. So what I will get is 10 into 9 into 8 divided by 6. Okay. So 7 factorial gets cancelled. So I'll get 10 into 9 into 8, and in the denominator 3 into 2 into 1, that gives me 6. You can use your calculator or by manually. In any ways you can do this calculation. You will get 120. So therefore, number of ways in which the committee can be selected so as to include the manager but not the officer is 120. So you can make 120 different committees which will include the manager but not the officer. Okay. Let us see the third one. Now you have to find the number of ways in which the committee can be formed so as to include neither the manager nor the officer. मतलब ये जो हम 4 लोगों की कमिटी बना रहे हैं या हम 4 लोगों को सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, उन चारों में ना तो मैनेजर होना चाहिए और ना तो ऑफिसर होना चाहिए. नाइदर मैनेजर नॉर ऑफिसर, यानी मैनेजर भी नहीं चाहिए हमको, ऑफिसर भी नहीं चाहिए. तो ये चारों लोग कहाँ से आना चाहिए? They should be clerk. And how many clerks are there? There are 10 clerks. So all the 4 people of the committee can be selected from 10 clerks in 10C4 different ways. So third का answer होगा 10C4. Look at here. I have written the explanation. Since neither the manager nor the officer is to be included in the committee, all the 4 members of the committee are to be selected from 10 clerks. And that can be done in 10C4 different ways. Okay. हमें कमिटी में 4 लोग चाहिए, बट दे शुड नॉट बी मैनेजर, दे शुड नॉट बी ऑफिसर. ओके. अगर मैनेजर भी नहीं है, ऑफिसर भी नहीं है, तो चारों कहाँ से होना चाहिए? दे शुड बी फ्रॉम क्लर्क. एंड हाउ मेनी क्लर्क्स आर देयर? देयर आर 10 क्लर्क्स. So 4 clerk can be selected from 10 clerks in 10C4 different ways. Okay. So since neither the manager nor the officer is to be included in the committee, all the 4 members of the committee are to be selected from 10 clerks in 10C4 different ways. Now calculate the value of 10C4, like how we have done in the previous steps. So what is 10C4? It is 10 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 10 minus 4, that is 6 factorial. 10 factorial I can write as 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 factorial. Here also by mistake two multiplication symbols have come, just neglect one. Okay. So 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8 into 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 up to 1. I can write as 6 factorial. Why? Because in the denominator also there is 6 factorial. So I need not waste my time in writing that. I can just write it 6 factorial. In the denominator 4 factorial, that is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 and 6 factorial. So this 6 factorial and this 6 factorial will get cancelled. So I will be left with 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 in the numerator. See, 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 in the numerator, and in the denominator 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That you can simplify by the calculator. You will get 210. Okay. Or here or this way also you can do. It is not very difficult. See, 2 1 ja 2, 2 4 ja 8. Now there this 4 and this 4 has gone. 3 1 ja 3, 3 3 ja 9. So 3 into 7 into 10, that will give you 210. So even you can do it by manually. Not, it is very simple. No need to use the calculator. But still, if you want to use the calculator, you are allowed to do that. So 210. So therefore, number of ways in which the committee can be selected so as to include neither the manager nor the officer is 210. So 210 different committees can be formed with all the 4 members as clerk. So this completes this question, this problem. So today we have solved some more problems, like 4 problems we have solved on combination. I have taken variety of problems. So you just practice these problems. So thank you all.